Welcome back. The United States Air Force Academy under attack by an atheist group who has an issue with the Academy's honor oath. The passage, "I resolve to do my duty and live honorably, so help me God." Well, the group claims that the mention of God is a constitutional violation of the separation of church and state. Do they have a case? We are asking Fox News legal analyst Peter Johnson Jr. that very question.
Good morning.
Good
nice
morning.
to see you. They don't have a case if they want to be hostile to religion. They don't have a case if they want to knock religion out of the oath for everyone. They don't have a case if they say Christianity should not be allowed to be practiced by people in the Air Force Academy. They do have a case if they say no one in this country, and case law makes it clear, has to swear to God if they don't believe in God. Atheists, humanists, folks like that, they don't have to swear to God, but don't take that right, that ability from others to do the same thing.
Exactly. I mean, Megyn Kelly posed the question last night in the Kelly file, right? She said, why not just opt out? And Mikey Weinstein, the Military Religious Freedom Foundation member, actually had this to say.
Why can't they just opt out? If they don't want to say, so help me God, they don't have to say that part.
Well, it's like saying, why don't you just opt out of not robbing a bank? Because robbing a bank violates the law. Let me say it again so that in words of one syllable. It violates, that's 3 syllables, the law, the Constitution's no establishment clause notwithstanding. Irrespective of that, no religious test, clause 3, article 6, which says we will never have a religious test for any position in the federal government.
We all understand the Constitution. We all understand the Establishment Clause and the Free Exercise Clause. What we don't understand is that kind of overblown rhetoric that compares an oath to God to robbing a bank. The two are not synonymous. And when you get into that kind of rhetoric and you demonize folks who do believe in God, and that's mostly the American people,
sure.
And there have been all kinds of constitutional decisions that say under God we trust, that those are secular messages. They're not necessarily religious. They're based upon our history in this country. That's when we get into trouble. That kind of rhetoric is important to ensure constitutional limits, but it's not right in terms of keeping us together. It sends the wrong message.
You reminded me just before we started of Ronald Reagan, right? He had something to say on the notion of
Ronald Reagan, I think, had it best. It wasn't a constitutional argument, but it was a moral argument. If we ever forget that we're one nation under God, then we will be a nation gone under. It has a lot to say on this day and every day. Respect the Constitution. And in respecting the Constitution, respect people's ability to worship God, to swear an oath to God. Don't take that away from them. Respect everyone in this country.
So taking away maybe just as bad. Well, certainly that may have been Ronald Reagan's tweet. We asked you what you thought on Twitter, and Carolyn tweeted, why? What is wrong with pledging an oath to God? What would they prefer? So help me, Obama. Hashtag liberty. Well, that certainly puts a button on that.
A lot of tweets this morning on that.
Sure.
Said one person tweeted that their daughter was going to go to the U.S. Air Force Academy, but they said no, they don't want her daughter to apply anymore because of this. Let's see what the Air Force Academy does with this oath going forward. They're going to make their decision soon.
We'll keep an eye on that and send your tweets and your posts to Facebook on what you think as well.
Elisabeth, great to see you.
Peter Johnson Jr., love talking to you about all this.
You.
And